Okay, I suppose we can start. It's not necessary to switch on your cameras or anything. So far, first 20 minutes, I would love to make go through the main topic, and after I'll ask you questions. This is where we can start conversation. And I think so far we have a real meeting of using AI. Note takers. Okay, everything is recorded. Everything will be recorded, and it will be sent to your emails and LinkedIn. Thank you for attending today. For the people that are going to join us later, again, you have opportunity to ask questions while you're here. But again, everything is recorded. Okay, thank you for joining, guys. As we do not have so much time left. To be honest, we have like 50 minutes. I'll start. Your first AI marketing department. That's the topic today, how to build, deploy, and scale AI agents inside your team. Me and my team were so happy to introduce you our new solutions today. And these solutions were basically created because we have so much experience as marketers working with businesses. So it didn't come up from nothing. And I want to show you exactly what we're doing and why we're doing this. And I will start with AI. That's a really big concept. Everybody says we're using AI. And by the last surveys that I found on the internet, 74% of companies admitting they are using AI. But what exactly it means? It means that they use AI in terms of GPT, copy AI for content, and one chatbot on website, which is with people who actually are and folks who are into the topic, and especially developers. And I know there are lots of people sign up for this webinar or workshop from a really heavy background with AI, like developers. Probably some of you already tried, implement, and actually deploy some agents itself. And for you, it sounds like, wow, that's not AI. Like 74% of people saying we are using AI, but GPT is not internal AI. It's actually the lightest part of this. And what also the survey says that only 12% of companies actually have heavy AI integrated. Why I'm highlighting these particular specific numbers? Because we are talking about AI. It's big concept, but what exactly do we mean by this? We're not going today to talk about tech developing and things, but I want to show you first what's the landscape today and what do we mean by when we're talking about AI. And then I will show you what exactly is missing on the market, and then why we made the conclusion to make what we actually done and what I wanted to show you as a solution. Today, AI landscape looks it's crowded. It's crowded. I would divide it for 4 big pillars, and the first one would be framework. So AI represents by frameworks, which is heavily used by developers, and probably some of them you heard about Crew AI or AutoGPT or Haystack. Don't That's not GPT. Okay, don't be confused. LangGraph. All of these frameworks are building blocks for AI applications that require coding expertise, but offer maximum flexibility. Common problems with these particular tools that It still requires technical expertise. Most teams do not have. It's long development has long development cycles and high costs. And it means complex maintenance and updates needed. Probably, if there were developers here, they would say, they would confirm that it is like that. So nothing has been changed actually since the pre-era of AI. Still, development takes a big part of this, okay, to make it happen. The second pillar, I would say, there are platforms that definitely made it easier for us. No code, low code. And I know that some of you guys, they used NHN, for example, to deploy some agents, or Lovable, for sure. It's really interesting platform. Relay app, Stack AI, Voice Flow, Bubble AI. All of these platforms also have problems and challenges. Limited customization and flexibility, vendor lock-in and dependency issues, and scaling limitations as business grows. So there are still limits, and people, if you have this experience using these particular platforms, you faced it yourself. Product with AIs, that's a third pillar, and this is mass use cases. Like, this is massive. For example, is, as I said before, ChatGPT. It could be HubSpot GPT, Copy AI, Jasper, Claude, Notion AI. Also, this block has its own problems. One size fits all approach doesn't match your needs, and you know it. You also, like, we've tried, probably with my team and not by myself. I tried, and I know they all have limitations and problems. So if you haven't, just believe me, one size fits all approach doesn't match your needs. No integration with existing business processes, limited control over AI behavior and outputs. And the third one is architectures. This one is the most interesting one, upcoming, new, and it's kind of the answer for the potential problems of what market will hit developing AI. Strategic frameworks for connecting multiple AI agents into a cohesive intelligent system. I personally, I do believe in this block of tools, but it still has its own challenges and limitations, like complex setup requiring deep AI knowledge, difficult to maintain and troubleshoot, and most are still experimental and unstable. So the problem is clear that while we're all talking about AI, there are still I'm not talking about misunderstanding about what is AI, because I just broke it down by 4 pillars, and that's probably not everything, but that's my experience. And each block has its own limitations. What I think, as a marketer that works with companies for the last 3 years, what I've seen when we have implemented AI agents, tools, features, I would say, what I noticed, that all these AI tools, they are cool, but they remain isolated islands. For me, the system looks like this: isolated islands. Like, for example, we made an agent for content, for social, for CRM, for analytics, and for emails. But they all independent, isolated, and they are not self-learning. So we end up having lots of agents that are not connected with itself, that are not making any decisions, not helping us to make decisions. They probably give us even more work to do, which you probably already faced. More manual work, more education, and that's actually top 5 reasons why AI fails. Why AI fails? That's because people have to be educated. They don't know how to use it. So it's also a big barrier between big expansion of AI and what we have now. What I see, what is missing, kind of connected networks. Here now, I'm talking about today, and today is July 2025. It's very rare to see that somebody thinks about ahead and thinks that all these agents that taken on board to the team, to AI, for example, marketing departments, to marketing. I'm not talking about other processes, but mostly about marketing because I'm a marketer person for the last 10 years. So all these agents are disconnected. So I'm having one more tool I'm paying subscription for, and it's not helping me. It's helping me a little bit, but not that much. So what I see, it has to be one goal for all the systems. They do understand this one goal, and they all connected to each other, and they all self-learning. And I think we gap this, we find the breach between what's happening now and perfect AI marketing department again. What we're talking about, again, I just want to sum up that all these agents that companies now trying to onboard, they are no decision making. These agents are just taking part of the work and trying to automate this work, and even not automating, and probably sometimes creating even more work. So they are not decision making agents. They are not self-learning for sure. So you can't add the agent, like what I've seen so far, probably almost 70% of agents are not self-learning. They just repeatedly doing the same thing again and again. It's automation. It's not AI. So they're not self-learning. They do not collect information. They collect information, but they do not analyze information. They do not memorize this information. They do not use it for the future analysis. There is no connectivity with each agent works as separate tool, and no strategic architecture, no coordination or control layer. So still no architecture. So that's the hard truth. You don't have an AI department. You have 100 or 10 bots, agents, each doing its own thing. This is the current approach on the market. And what we're trying to achieve and trying to bring to the market is unified system of connected agents. I'll get back to you now, and if there are any questions, now you feel free to use our chat in Google Meetings here, and you can drop me a question and I can answer. I'll be happy to answer. So what is actually our solution for all of what's happening? We came up again as a group of marketers with experience working with SMB mostly and enterprises. We found out that also doing lots of researches, that there's 7 specialized units has to be in marketing department to make it perfect. And I'm talking now about almost 50 agents that can work in a marketing department to make it perfect. But I know that there are no perfect marketing departments ever, and it's never going to happen, but we still collected basic 50 agents, break it down by 7 specialized units, and we believe that all these units and all these agents can be picked up to the right situation, to the right business, to the right, depending on the stage where business is right now, depending on the niche, and customizable to this business, to this specific business, to create. Then we can see a perfect AI marketing department. So we have here like around 50 basic agents, but you can find these agents. You can deploy these agents yourself. You can use other platforms, low code, zero code platforms to deploy these agents. Well, we done like all these agents, and actually I will share with you, as I promised, the map of these agents, so you can see what these agents can do, what are the layers, and what are units. But what we are doing here, I'll show you now, based on situation, based on company specific information. We pick, for example, from this unit, we pick one agent, from this unit, we pick another agent, and from this unit, we pick another agent. And these 3 agents, they are solving the problem and help company to grow. If there is a goal to grow, because there are different goals depending on the stage. Okay, let me introduce you the first unit. Again, all these agents, they are self-learning agents, first of all, and second, they are connected into bigger picture. They are connected with each other, and they understand what they're doing. Okay, I'll explain you now, just putting it to the ground. Let's talk about intelligence unit. Here we have 6 primary agents. The goal of this unit is knowing your market, competitors, and customers better than anyone. So if you would say implement all these agents, again, you can implement it yourself with other platforms. Yes, we're not talking about it now because this is what you can see on the market. We're talking that if you implement it, for example, with us, we will make it customizable for each company specific purposes. The second, we will make it self-learning. And the third, we will connect it with other units, important units. The first unit, intelligence, we call it, it has, primary basic agents. I'm not going to cover all the agents because it will take forever and we will not have time to check all the use cases. But I'll just give you an example. A SaaS company's intelligence unit. So we have a SaaS company as an example. That's it implements intelligence unit, all of these agents, let's say, and this unit processes 10,000 competitors data points weekly. This is what I mean when I say it's self-learning. It's repeatable, but self-learning. So every week it sees the difference. It shifts what happened, what are the changes that competitors do. For example, Ad Spy Digest, it analyzes active competitors ads in Meta, Google, and LinkedIn by brand and keyword, tracking creative patterns and messaging strategies. So Ad Spy Digest analyzes competitors' ads. 10,000 competitors we have for our customer. And this agent goes and check all the advertising. And then he says, for example, every week, yes? And then he says that This, like the last week, for example, 40% competitors are competitors are shifting to video instead of images, and it gets 40% higher click-through rate. Okay, so that's the first outcome that we have. We keep it. If we would have only one agent that collects this information, it's also good. It's also really valuable. But wait. Then the next agent, CX Mirror, that monitors customers' reviews of competitors across Trustpilot, Reddit, Capterra, blah blah. CX Mirror detects customers complaining about competitors' new pricing model. Again, the second really big insight. Third, Product Launch Radar spots 3 competitors testing similar features. Wow, that's a big news. Something is happening. Hiring Pulse, the first agent, reveals a key competitor just hired 20 engineers. So Hiring Pulse agent detects hiring, firing waves as signals of growth or decline in competitor companies. Expansion signal, like 20 engineers hired by one key competitor. Then Funding Monitor alerts that the adjacent startup raised 50 millions, and Trend Whisperer, the last one, synthesize everything. So he collects all the information from all these agents synthesize everything into actionable weekly intelligence briefing and now it's important, that automatically triggers content planner bot to create content messaging and outreach bot to target competitors' unhappy customers. So we collect all this information. It doesn't come to me as, for example, I'm CMO. No, it's collecting. Trend Whisperer synthesizes everything, and then, okay, I see the report as CMO, but not only this. All this information comes to the next unit, and the next unit is inbound and outreach unit. Here I highlighted mostly B2B, heavy B2B, not e-commerce agents. So there are not all of agents you can see here, but the second unit is inbound and outreach. The goal of the second unit is generate leads on autopilot across multiple channels. Let's see that e-commerce, B2B e-commerce, brand generates 500 qualified leads monthly through coordinated agent network. First, this one, this agent identifies competitor customers complaining about shipping delays. Then it sends information to Trend Whisperer. Trend Whisperer sends information to inbound and outreach unit, and what it does, LinkedIn outreach bot immediately targets this prospect with personalized message about superior logistics. Then email sequence bot triggers 7-touch nurture sequence customized by industry vertical. Then a lead scorer. Well, I'm talking now, all these agents are here. LinkedIn outreach, email, lead scorer, CRM, blah, blah. Lead scorer evaluates each response using behavioral data, company size, engagement level. And then CRM sync agent ensures no lead falls through tracks while updating sales team in real time. And reactivation agent detects 200 call leads from Q3 and re-engages them with new case studies from intelligence unit, trend analysis, resulting in 23% reactivation rate. So we're talking here, we could do, and what we've done, all these cases can be done first manually to understand if each agent, before implementing each agent and connection between them. Again, as I said, we have 50 agents, we have 50, but that's not necessary for that. All 50 we have to implement. Some companies, they need only a couple of these. Probably intelligence unit, as I see so far, that's the most common type of agents that every company has to onboard. Then maybe a couple of these, or LinkedIn or Lead Scorer for B2B, yes. But first, we do manual work, and if you do have some inquiries, and if you can send me, so after this meeting or now, like for example, we have this type of company, we're trying to get more leads, or we're trying to close more deals, or we're trying to target new market. So that would be a goal, for example, for this year, or Q4, or Q3, Q4. And you see there are barriers. You can't really achieve this goal, for example. And what we do, we analyze your business. And we're trying to understand if it fits all this before we dive and implement all the agents, or half of agents, or dozen, or 5. We do manual work, and we try to do everything what I'm saying to you here right now here, the cases are real in terms of, first we've done manual work. So if we go and analyze, and there are competitors doing shift. Okay, if it works, it works. They change something, we know we have to implement CX Mirror. Email sequence, if this particular company, they actually already test emails, and we knew that it's going to help by open rate, click-through rate, and another indicates. Lead scorer. There were no lead scorer, but if we would apply, we collected some information, we collected the data that company haven't used before, and then we came up with these numbers. So this is how I'm telling you about these case studies as a part of analytical work before we implement any of agents. Okay, the next layer, I actually can't see any questions anymore so far. No questions. Okay, I hope it's clear. The next layer would be CEO layer. CEO layer, it's 3 basic agents, contain 3 basic agents: weekly CEO report, reporter, channel ROI tracker, and win-loss analyzer. And here is a great example. If we would have, you can imagine if even you yourself, if you're a decision maker, if you're a CEO in your company, I want to read the example, and you imagine that it's you. If you would have this kind of information every week or every day, how would you react? And do you think it changes the way you think, the way you make decisions regarding your business and marketing? B2B SaaS CEO, which is the owner, also this case, receives comprehensive weekly intelligence, daily or weekly. Here we talk about weekly reports. Channel ROI tracker reveals LinkedIn ads have 340% ROI vs Google's ads, which is 180%. But Google volume is 5 times higher. Win-loss analyzer identifies that 76% of lost deals mention competitors' easier onboarding, So so the CEO sees and understands that 67% of lost deals, mentioning that the reason why they don't want to proceed is that competitor has easier onboarding. Triggering content planner bot to create onboarding comparison content. We're gonna dive into content planner bot in content, because as I said, it all works as a system. Weekly SEO reporter synthesized that while total leads increased by 23%, qualified leads dropped 8% due to targeting drift, automatically alerting lead scorer to recalibrate scoring model. This is another agent from another unit. Okay, so CEO has receives the reports, and it also affects other agents and other units, and recommends relocating. So this weekly CEO reporter, channel ROI tracker, win-loss analyzer recommends to CEO relocating 15,000 monthly budget from Google to LinkedIn while fixing qualification criteria. All insights flow back to intelligence unit and trigger automatic campaign adjustments across outreach and content units. How would you feel if you, as a CEO or founder of the company, receive this kind of information weekly or daily? That's because now this kind of information, me as CEO of, I have experience working with in big companies also, like from 300, 400 people, that not big, but still. And I remember that the first challenge I had always before a call with CEO, that I do not have enough statistics, it was hard to collect. And the second, the CEO, it was always hard to talk, because sometimes we have this gap communication, just because I'm a marketing person and this is a kind of different type of thinking person, yes? And he has to make decisions, I have to make decisions, but we're talking kind of different languages sometimes. So CEO layer helps to increase the gap, like shrink it, and just put everything on the table. So no emotions, only decisions. The next, let me check how much time we left. We have time. Okay, I'll try to be short. I will send you all the map and case studies later, because you can read yourself. There are scenarios, for example, different use cases, how you can collect all these agents together and adapt to this situation. For example, major competitor announced price cut and new feature launch, and how agent would work regarding to solve this problem. The renew recovery machine is a scenario where Q4 pipeline looks weak and need to hit annual targets. That's a very common problem, and I know it myself, where there is the last quarter is coming up and we do not hit the target. So how would agent coordination would work, and how the flow would look like? Then the market expansion gene, that's the third scenario, I would send you after the meeting, after this webinar. Entering new vertical market, healthcare in this case, with existing product. Because before you want to enter the new market, you have to use a lot of agents from intelligence unit. That's for sure. For example, like hire and pulse. Okay, so that would be, I think we'll not have time to cover this, but coming back to content and nurturing, this scope of agents, the goal of this scope of agents is to educate, warm up, and build trust through intelligent content. Content and nurturing mostly used in B2B to again shrink the gap between deal lengths, because sometimes it takes up to 8 months to make a contract from the first contact. So nurturing, I'm pretty sure B2B marketers are familiar with this. If you work in different fields, that you don't need this. Again, I will read briefly use case. Take startups, content engine process intelligence from 6 units to create hyper-targeted campaigns. Intelligence units add spy digest from the first one, yes? Reveals competitors using fear-based messaging about data security. So we know that competitors are using this type of offers or this type of messages, like fear-based from FOMO. Content Planner bot immediately creates counter-narrative content focusing on security through simplicity. So it means that we analyze first that what a normal person would do, normal PPC manager would do, analyzing first manually everything that competitors do, and then based on their offers and their approaches, we kind of try to make different approach and different messages and communication. So here, Content Planner bot creates counter-narrative content. GPT email writer generates 12 personalized emails variations for different ICPs, ideal customer profiles. For example, startup founders vs enterprise IT, which is totally different targeted audience. Test and learn bot discovers that subject lines without the headache. It's in subject line, for example, increases open rates by 34%. Signal amplifier, another agent, distributes winning content across LinkedIn, B2B audience, email, and Telegram, because in this case we have we used startup. They're mostly that have audience on Telegram, but that's not the case for American companies. Social media ad manager create lookalike audience based on highest engaging content consumers. So lookalike, again, PPC managers are familiar with this term lookalike audience, marketers also. While community manager bot engages prospects who comment on security posts, result in 156% increase in qualified demo requests and 80% improvement in sales cycle length. CRM sales sync. That's the next layer that we have. Unit, real world class unit integration. If we would combine all of them together, that would look like this. Enterprise software company achieves 43% faster sales cycles through synchronized CRM operations. So this unit, the goal of this unit is align marketing and sales in real time. And probably some of the companies, they already implemented, especially they use HubSpot. Some of these features already implemented, but again, they are not connected. So when we're talking about, yes, super connected things, yes, then we would talk about how it works. Enterprise software company achieves 43% faster sales cycles through synchronized CRM operations. Pipeline Observer detects 23 deals stuck in technical evaluation stage for 14 plus days. Okay, so Pipeline Observer identifies stuck in a funnel, automatically triggering deal closer assistant to provide sales reps to people with technical comparison sheets created by intelligence unit's product launch radar. First one. Autofollow Pinger identifies that prospects from financial services require follow-up every 3 days, whereas 7 days for tech companies, which is most common, and adjust cadence automatically. Qualification bot uses behavioral scoring. Email opens, content downloads, demo attendance. I think HubSpot does have this feature. Combined with firmographic data to send only 8.2 plus scored leads to sales. So sales reps will not be overloaded with bad leads. They would work only with high scored leads, improving, and then sales reps will improve close rate, like in our case from 12 to 31%. While real-time sync with the content unit ensures sales reps get personalized battle cards for each prospect based on their content consumption patterns and competitive landscape analysis. So it's not only CRM itself, it helps to coordinate between marketing efforts and sales. The fifth unit, project ops and management. That's the unit that not required if there is a startup or company haven't hit yet product market fit. This unit will be more for grown companies, mature companies, and it requires people, a lot of people in marketing department already working. So the goal of this unit would be to move projects forward without human bottlenecks. And the use case would be marketing agency manages 47 client campaigns simultaneously through intelligent project orchestration. So auto PM, that's because why did have a marketing agency for like 8 years, and I know that 47 client campaigns, that's a lot. If I would have this agent, so that would be so much easier. So auto PM agent detects that competitor analysis from intelligence unit is complete and automatically moves 12 client projects to content creation stage while assigning tasks to available team members. Load balancer identifies that Sarah, content creator, has 127% capacity while Mike has 67% capacity, because this system also detects when a person is overloaded or underloaded. So Mike is underloaded. We're not going to let him relax, and so system automatically redistributing 3 blog posts and 2 email sequences to Mike. Then priority conflict checker flags that client as, like, let's call it client KitKat client tweaks product launch campaign conflicts with client B, okay, the other client, similar timeline, suggesting staggered approach. Ping agent sends smart reminders that adapt frequency based on task urgency and team member response patterns, daily pings for urgent items, weekly for standard tasks, result in 34 faster project completion, and 89% reduction in missed deadlines across all client across. So as I said, that would be approachable and way to reduce to reduce mess in marketing department, but mostly for companies with companies where from like 10 to 15 people working in marketing department, where everything is not doing, like you're not meeting deadlines, everything looks a little bit like a mess, then it will be definitely the unit that will help to achieve some better moments and better results. The last one unit is control and recovery, we call it. The goal of this unit: detect leaks early, fix fast. That would be also a unit if we would have all the system already working, and the last unit helps to actually keep the system works. That's the all I wanted to cover, and we have left 12 minutes and lifted lots of information. One more time, if there are any questions, I would love to hear from you. For example, you have a use case. For example, you have a company or you work with a company and they do have a goal. For example, hitting number of leads, they need to hit the target in terms of number of leads or revenue, or they have to find product market fit, or the cost per customer is high. What you do, I will send you the message and email as well, with on LinkedIn, so you can connect straight and talk to me directly, and we can talk and get back to you with solution. How our set of agents, which exactly agent you need, considering your type of company, niche, and stage of the company, and also the goal you need, and how we can help to build it. That would be it for today. And there are okay, I can see that there are people, Brian still here, and Daria. If you do have some questions, you are still here and you have this opportunity to ask, that would be perfect. If not, then we're going to wrap up. And again, we're going to repeat these kind of workshops probably every 3 weeks, and break it down by smaller use cases what we have, because it's a little bit too much. I know, I can imagine, too much information for one seat, for one go. That you could expect. It's not one agent. It doesn't do one work. It's a set of agents that connected. Thank you for attending, and I hope for the questions even later on LinkedIn or through emails. Feel free. This is it. Thank you so much. Stop.